Hey everybody, I'm Revengeance, and I'm here today to talk about, yes, Weirwoods, Children of the Forest, and creepy little things, yeah. And of course, there's going to be Bloodraven in there, which we'll get to that in a minute because my co-host was already asking questions about that one. And today we have a very special guest I'm really excited about, and Branwyck is here with us, and I'll let him go ahead and introduce himself. Bran.
Um, Hello, you guys. I'm Branwyck. I'm on Facebook, Hangouts, Amino. I tried to make a Twitter, but I'm no good at Twitter. I don't like Twitter.
Me either. Don't feel bad. I really don't. I try to, and I forget about it. I don't like tweeting. And of course, with me as always is my lovely co-host Cammy. Cameo.
Hey y'all.
And she today, well, right before we started, actually said something very interesting, which was, what does Bloodraven have to do with Children of the Forest? So we're going to kind of just jump right in and lead off. Before we do that, I want to say hey to everybody in chat. We see you over there talking and already going off about Leaf. And I love it. I love it. So Bubba Husky, Reese, Marie, Connie, I see you. Fandom D Saint, I'm gonna say it right too, and Peter Griffin, and just Dog. We see all of you guys over there, and we love you. You guys are amazing, and yeah, just thank you guys for hanging out tonight, or this afternoon, I guess. And yeah, I see Kev. You was over there too earlier, huh?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, y'all. Usually, I come into the chat
Bob
and talk to y'all, but I've got a software problem, so my lovely host, the host, hear me typing, so it's kind of distracting. So if you don't see me down in the chat, I'm sorry. But hey, all my bangers, and hey, everybody else in the Game of Thrones community land, and thanks for being here. We're talking about I was already confused because I was like, wait a minute, we're talking about Children of the Forest and Bloodraven. I thought we were talking about Children of the Forest and Weirwoods. And then she said, well, it all ties in. Da, da, da. So and then she said, see, you're already confused.
So she already doesn't realize that the three-eyed raven, the old man in the tree, Cammy. You remember him?
I do remember that. Yes.
Okay,
yes.
that's Bloodraven. Do you know who Bloodraven is?
No, oh God! Every time every time I've asked who Bloodraven is, all I got was more answers that needed questions.
Oh, let me just sip a drink. This is gonna take a breath.
No, I don't really. I don't really know. No.
Okay, I kind of feel like we need to start here a little bit because a lot of stuff, especially in our current era, kind of goes tied in with him.
Okay. Yeah.
So Bloodraven is Brendan Rivers. He is one of Aegon the Fourth's great bastards, which means he was one of the bastards that he legitimized on his deathbed. That most of them ended up turning into Blackfires, and you know about the Blackfire Rebellion?
I've heard about the Blackfire Rebellion. Do I know about it?
Okay.
No.
Heard about it. I will set for today, and we'll discuss that at a later date because that's another story. But I'll set that. So he was one of the great bastards. Okay, his mother was Melissa, so we love that because we have the same name. Melissa Blackwood. Yeah, so Brand's digging that one too. So she was a lady, so that's why he was a great bastard, because his mother was a noble birth. That's the difference in the bastards.
Okay.
And he was kind of into like sorcery, and there's like a little rhyme that goes with him, like 1,000 eyes in one. Because
I heard that. Yes.
Yeah, he has one red eye. He was missing an eye.
He was missing an eye.
Yep, that's another story too. We'll get into that later.
Okay,
but
yeah.
The one eye that he did have was red. And you know how the green seers tend to have either green eyes or red eyes, right?
Yeah, I guess. I don't really know what the green seers are either.
Well, we're going to tell you about the green seers too.
I mean, I am a true acolyte that knows acolyte.
Oh, okay. So we got a lot to cover. This is going to be a fun one today, guys. Are you ready? Okay. Time to, for real, tap into the Weirwood Net for real.
So see, you just asked me 3 things that I have no idea about. No, I don't know about the Green Seers. No, I don't know about.
He's my favorite, and I consider him. I know he's not proper Targaryen, but he's like my favorite dragon. Let's put it that way. And he's actually his sigil's a white dragon. And there's a lot of people that think he might even be Craster's father, possibly, maybe. So, which kind of goes with other theories. If not, then there's people that think Aemon could be too. But I mean, that's neither here nor there right now. He was in love with Sheerus Seastar. Blah. I got tongue-tied for a second. Sorry. Which was his sister, and he used to fight with Aegor Rivers, which was Bittersteel, the one that founded the Golden Company. Which Marie brought that up over there too. And that's it. Okay, but you gotta know who he is on a basis, because he's the one that he goes north to the wall. He ends up at the wall. Oh, I guess we should tell her how he got there, huh? Bram, would you like to say anything about Bloodraven first of all? What would you like to throw in about Bloodraven?
About Bloodraven?
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to throw anything in about Bloodraven. I'm not like a Bloodraven expert, other than, you know, what I've seen on the show, because I haven't got that far in the books yet. But
yeah, that's right. You're kind of new to him too, aren't you?
But you basically know who Bloodraven is.
I love this. That's right, because it is. You're new to the books too. I love it. Okay. So, all right. I love it.
I wanted to tell Cammy that green seeing is like it's what Jojen does. He has like the prophetic dreams of the future.
Okay.
Yeah, the green side.
But why didn't other book readers just tell me? See, they can't ever give a simple answer. I love you, book readers. Don't get me wrong, but dang, trying to get
only 1 in 1,000. Only 1 in 1,000 of the skin changers or wargs.
I think it's like 1 in 1,000 are born a skin changer, and 1 in 1,000 of the skin changers are born a green seer.
Yeah. Yeah, that is correct. But I was like trying to remember if it was.
Now, Bran wouldn't be considered a green seer, or would he?
No, he is.
He is. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
He's like the one is the thing. That's why he's the three-eyed raven. But before he is, it was Bloodraven.
Oh.
Kind of like, I guess you could say if there was a Weirwood crown, you could talk about that brand. Bloodraven would pass it on to Bran. That was one of his questions, is if there was ever a Weirwood crown. And I don't think there ever was one that I could think of. Can anybody in chat? I'm sorry.
Bran? Is he kind of, Bran is kind of following somebody's how do I put it? So like somebody is leading Bran. Like, is Bloodraven the one doing that?
Yes, he's leading a lot of people actually.
Okay. Like Bran and Bloodraven are like tied together now. Right?
Yes. And remember too that when any of the skin changers die, that a part of them that lives on a second life in whatever, Like for instance, when one of the Starks die, they can live a second life in their direwolf.
Oh.
And we learned that from Varamir Sixskin's chapter in A Dance with Dragons, the prologue. Because he could do it with a lot of different things, but that's what comes of it, basically.
Where I'm at in the books right now,
it's fun. I went back and it was whatever.
Lance Raider, and Varamir Sixskins was there, and he was talking about how he had, I think, what was his name? Orwell's eagle now.
Yeah.
And now Orwell's inside him too, and he hates John.
He's being a dick. Yeah.
So that's really cool. That like Because Orwell died and went to his eagle, and then Varamir's six skin changed into the eagle, and so Orwell was inside him too.
Yeah, I really do think so. That's I want to bring this up. Peter Griffin says, I hope it goes both ways. Lady is still alive in Sansa. I truly believe that Lady is still alive in Sansa. And I think when that little wild side comes out of her every now and then, like we see, you know, she just doesn't act all proper. She literally just lets loose. I think that is the Lady side of her coming out. You know what I mean? Just that wild side.
Yeah.
Because when Lady died, I mean, their connection, that's how it goes, is both ways. So when Lady died, if you go by that logic, then when Lady died, then part of Lady should have lived on in Sansa.
Yeah, it makes sense that it would.
Oh, Phantom said, unless you're a Rob and you are possessing the body of your mother and becoming a Lady Stoneheart. Oh, I hope not. But you know what? That would be better than him like going into Greywood and dying again, because that makes me even sadder to think of him dying twice like that, especially right in front of Arya.
No kidding.
Right? And Marie says, does Brandy Bloodraven? Rickon dreamt of his father and knew him to be dead. Rickon has nothing to do with Bloodraven or the children.
Thank you. That's what basically I was asking Marie. I just love Marie. Does Bran need Bloodraven?
I think all it is it's like he's a training him is all it really is. He's teaching him what to do. Like, okay, this is his journey. I mean, this is like his little path or whatever. First it was Jojen. Jojen was kind of teaching him beginner steps. And if you want to go there, then you could really say Osha was too. And which was the wild lead chick. Let me just clarify to help you there a little bit if you're trying to remember. Because she was saying a lot of stuff. Like she said about the comet only means one thing, and that's dragons. And she was saying, kept asking him about his dreams and took him down in the crypts. And she just knew stuff, man. She knew. She didn't like him talking to Jojen. She just knew something was off with that and just everything, you know? So it's kind of like he's going through levels of training. And now where we're at, it's like he's kind of become the master. But now where he's at too, it should be where Bloodraven's kind of in Bran. But here's a question: who's in control, Bloodraven or Bran?
I would think Bloodraven.
Yeah,
like, I would think of Bran as like me, an acolyte. He's a student, so to speak. I would say Bloodraven's in control at this point. I would say at the end of it all, in the grand finale, Bran will be.
Well, okay, and
maybe I'm wrong.
Let me tell you this too. Like they went on there and oh, hang on, here comes a kid. 1 second, she's trying to crash it. Sorry about that.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Cammy.
I was just going to read something from the chat because I thought you stepped away because Marie said Arya is a powerful warg and skin changer. I didn't know that.
Yeah, she actually is.
All the Stark children are.
Yeah.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
All the Stark children are?
Yeah.
What?
On too.
All the Stark children are? So do they just not know it?
No.
To like varying degrees.
Yeah. Like I think Rickon knows because he's just a weird little kid.
Like that's crazy for them all to be, you know, because the 1,000 out of 1,000, but they're all brothers and sisters, you know.
Right.
Wow. Huh.
Right, I agree. Fandom says I think the show just made Bran so he'd seem more special. I think so too.
Yeah.
And hey, Scout, I see he was here too. Yeah, and something else to tell you about Bloodraven too. Bloodraven got sent to the wall because he tricked one of the Blackfires to come back over when Aegon V was crowned, and he beheaded him. Like it was like a false pretenses of like peace, you know. And
who did you just say hey to?
Scout was right there.
Oh, hey, Scout.
Yeah.
Can't believe Scout came to
He
us.
said,
Hey, Scout. Sorry there. Sorry. You see how slow I am, y'all? It took me 5 minutes. Oh, God. But anyway.
Yeah. So he Aegon V, when he got crowned, because he beheaded the Blackfire, and it was the reason Bloodraven did it. I mean, his reasons were actually good intention, but he just did it in the wrong way. But it was to prevent any further Blackfire rebellions. He just did it in a really fucked up way, honestly. And so Bloodraven got sent to the wall, and he took his archers, which were called the Raven's Teeth, with him, and they all like went to the wall with him. And so he had like his own little army, and that's when Aemon actually joined the Night's Watch. And Bloodraven ended up becoming Lord Commander, and I believe he was Lord Commander for like 13 years. And then he disappeared, and nobody's seen him that we know of, at least until Bran, other than the creepy ass kids. But
we both feel the same about the children of the forest and creepy ass kids.
Yeah, and
they are creepy.
And we'll talk about them next, because like I want to know if they had their little damn.
Ree, I think you froze.
I do too. Ree, I think you're freezing. Oh no, we've lost Ree. I was gonna say, if we lose Ree, Branwyck, you are totally on your own, kid.
I blew up and fire boom, so she's gone anyways.
Oh, right? You're back. Phew.
We don't know what you said, Ree. You broke up.
Really?
Yeah.
Did I really?
No, if you were talking that whole time, none of us heard it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, say it all again.
Oh.
Repeat. Come on.
So good too.
You
okay, I was talking about where earlier in chat, when they were talking about, before we started streaming, about how they said that they were wondering if Leaf ended up going and becoming a white, or if she dragon glassed herself. Well, she blew herself up, so wouldn't she have just like been gone because it was fire, right?
Yeah, wouldn't she have been
back up? Who blew themselves up?
Leaf, the little creepy ass children.
Oh, that's right. Oh,
why?
I didn't know they had.
And why the hell didn't Mira pocket some of them bombs and totem with her? Like she had that little bag and shit. I would have been grabbing them. They had them little fireball bombs.
I don't think she had a whole lot of time. She was trying to get the hell out of Dodge and get into the cave.
Carrie?
About the glass bombs, do you like have to be the top of the forest to activate it, or can anyone just like throw it and it blows up?
Yeah, and it turned blue, so that made me think it was some magic thing like that they did.
Well, of course. Yeah.
Which makes me think again, because didn't they say Viserion's fire was like a magic breath, right?
Viserion?
Wait a minute, was his fire or magic? Was it like the hottest part of the flame? Wait a minute, no, it was the hottest part of the flame, wasn't it? That's why it melted the wall. Or was it magic? I don't remember now. The blue flame, what was the blue flame? Someone in chat, help me out. Was it fire or magic?
I thought it was just like
Marie should know.
But
it was one of them. And because I know that like blue flame is like the hottest part of fire.
Connie Pepper says magic.
Magic. That's what I thought. Okay, dogs have magical fire too. Okay.
Fire, so.
Okay. Okay, so are y'all ready to move on from Bloodraven? Okay, now here's a question for you real quick. I'm going to ask both of you what's your opinion, because this is real quick, kind of involved a little bit. There's theories out there that think that either Aemon or Bloodraven could possibly be Craster's father, because his mother is from Whitetree, the little village just south of Craster's Keep. Now, who would you think would possibly be, who's your best candidate for his father?
You mean like Maester Aemon Targaryen or Bloodraven?
Yep, for Craster's father. Who's your candidate for it?
Out of those two, I think I would say Bloodraven.
Me too.
But
Me too.
That was easy.
Yeah.
Who do you say? I mean, Miss.
Oh no, I think Bloodraven, but I mean, I got reasons too. Like I got book reasons and stuff, like white roses growing on a tree and just little stuff like that.
So wait, who did you say, Ree? Miss Hostess that knows the mostest?
I think Bloodraven, but like I said, it's because it's little stuff too, like the roses growing on the tree by Craster's Keep and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so, and hey, Mandy. Okay, so now let's talk about these creepy little children. Now, these children have been around since the Dawn Age, okay? They've been around forever. Now, Leaf talks about that in her little clique, and I'm going to call it her little clique for lack of a better word. The ones that are right there in Bloodraven's Cave and all that are hanging out there with Bran and Mira and all them. Now, it's a little different in the books, too. Like, there's a little... I don't know. I don't even remember now. I want to say it's a river. It's been a minute since I should have done that one. With the fish. But there's, like, little albino fish down there that they go... Now, the reason I bring that up is because there's all these underground tunnels. This is why I'm bringing this part up. There's all these underground tunnels, and it's not just there. They're everywhere. Now, down in the Winter chapters that have been released, there's an Arion chapter, which is the Princess Adorn, which you'll learn more about later. She's in a cave, and there's Lyanna Sand. No, not... Was it Lyanna Sand? Oh my goodness. But I'm trying to do it from memory now. She was there and she ended up in a little like fishing, and it was the same kind of fish. So there's like these little weird fish that are all underneath in these little underground rivers and ponds and stuff, and all these little tunnels. Now down in these tunnels too, it kind of looked like there was these spaces like in the stone, like Weirwoods. Now, we know the children don't only go in the trees when they die. Okay, what do you know about the children? Let's start there, Cammie. What do you know about the children?
Are you asking me or Branwyck?
I'm asking you first. Tell me what you know about the children of the forest.
Good thing you're asking me first, because my answer's going to be really short. I mean, what do I know about the children of the forest? I did know, like, when you said they've been around since the dawn of time. That I knew, but that's about all I knew. Other than that, I think they're creepy. I mean... Ugh. Well, okay. One thing that was in the show, when the one of those children of the forest stabbed, oh God, I forget who it was. I guess it was Benjen in the heart. And so that's when he turned into whatever. Maybe it wasn't Benjen. Who was it that she stabbed in the heart? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. I think it was just like, I don't know if he has a name.
Oh, okay.
It's like so obviously right now, I guess.
Obviously they're the ones that turned man into White Walkers, I guess. Am I wrong?
No, you're right.
Okay.
Did they do that in the book too?
She won, Johnny.
No. As of right now, they're just the others are just like kind of another species, I guess.
Right, because like up to my reading, I wasn't entirely sure the Children of the Forest really did create the White Walkers. I figured maybe they were like their own little thing, and because it says that like the Children of the Forest helped the first men fight the White Walker. I don't know why you'd want to fight something you created.
Okay, maybe they didn't create them, but they do have the power to change somebody into one. Is that
Frankenstein's monsters? All I got to say. Sometimes you create your own monsters, you know.
Yeah.
You go, oh, shit, what did I do? And you know.
Yeah.
And hi, Cindy. I see you there too.
And the Sammy.
Yeah. Okay, and Brandon, I know you like the Children of the Forest, so you know a lot more.
I know a lot more than Tammy does. Yeah. I'm like an expert. I know
yeah, we can have
everybody knows more than Tammy does, Branwyck.
I know that they lived there before the first men come, and then the first men came and started cutting down their trees, and that made them really mad. And they was like, "You can't be cutting down our trees." So then they got into a war, and then the Andals, and then they made everything okay, and then the Andals came, and the first men and the Children of the Forest fought the Andals. I think.
All right.
And I don't know, like, if the people from North, like Masande and them, like, they're a little bit related to them, but I don't think I would call them Children of the Forest at all. After looking stuff up, I don't think so.
You know what it seems like to me? It seems like there's different places that have different, and this is just me. This is how I see it, like in my mind. Like there's different places that have different versions of things. I mean, it's you know.
Yeah, because there's differences between them.
Yeah. I do think there's like children scattered throughout, though.
Yeah, maybe like the varying degrees of the interbreeding between children and men, maybe.
Yeah, and well, they talk about that too. They say that they were breeding with men, but they couldn't keep up with the breeding between men. And they were breeding with other species. They even said, I think it just said in general, but their breeding couldn't keep up with the breeding of men.
Like, because they live so
long, look up the exact
less children, maybe.
Huh?
Because they live so long, they would have less children, and like not.
It was, yeah, because, well, it was just how fast that the men were breeding. They were just outbreeding them, is what it was. You know.
Man, last night I learned about like the Red Lake and all types of stuff last night.
Oh, did you? Okay. Yeah. Did you know that Silverwing once like made herself a little lair up on the island there?
Yeah, I found that out last night too when I was looking stuff up.
Yeah,
I was going to say you found out last night. What
yeah, I'm at the end of the third book. I'm not all the way through the series yet.
Yeah, I heard, but you know quite a bit for as you know.
You lost Oberyn recently.
Yes, it was very, very, very emotional.
Yeah.
I think everything that happens in the show is worse in the books.
Yeah, it really is. It really is.
Well, hey, Bubba just said something that I did not know. He said that Night King is show only. I had no idea.
Yeah, we have like a Night King in the books, but it refers to like the guy that was at the 13 Lord Commander or whatever of the Night Fort.
Oh, wow.
Like it's worded differently. So, but we don't, the others are completely different in the books. Like where they kind of look, they're more pretty in the books. That's the only way to put it. I'll send you a picture, Cammy. I'm gonna send you
While
a
we're
picture.
talking about the Ninth King, can we talk about the Black Gate for a minute?
Let's do that. Okay.
I've actually read past the Black Gate in the books.
Okay.
So in Cammy, in one of the castles along the wall, it's called the Night Fort, right?
Yep, the Night Fort.
There's like this little tiny gate made of a weirwood, laid down a well, and
let's help her associate where it's at. It's where Bran and Mira and Jojen were, where Sam and Gilly came out of the well and they met. And then Bran went under there to go north of the wall.
Cool.
She didn't even pay attention. Okay, go on, Bran.
so like down in the well, it glows and like it opens its eyes and it talks, and then it asks Sam who's coming, and he says his vows to it and tells him that, you know, he's the shield in the night and everything. And it opens up its mouth really, 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 really wide, and they walk through it.
Really, 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 really wide.
Yeah,
Really
it does.
Talking about how like there was only a little bit of wrinkles left around the corners from how big it opened its mouth so that they could go through it.
Right, because yeah, it was like a really, really old weirwood is what it was made of. And did you notice that it was like a shortened version of the Night's Watch vows?
Yeah, like he all but said his vows to when it said, "Who are you?" He was like, "I'm the sword in the night, the shield that protects the realms," or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, it was like the right.
Wow, that was really, 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 really interesting. It was.
Yeah, I actually love the Night Fort. I think it ties in a lot to, especially with the Weirwood stuff going on, and all the stuff. Because I mean, all right, we can bring up the Night King and all this with all this that we're talking about too, because there was a lot that happened there, and when that's the only one that we know of that we've actually heard talk. Yeah. So it makes you wonder too, because we know, like, all right, you haven't made it in the books to where you're in Bloodraven's cave yet either, have you?
No, but like I do know some stuff because I watch YouTube videos and I look stuff up on the internet.
Okay. What do you know?
Well, I mean, like, I know that you can't talk
say
through a weirwood, but like when you talk through a weirwood, it supposedly makes like wind noises and stuff. But I also like whenever Theon was talking to the weirwood tree, he kind of heard Bran, and then I think it was a dream, but I'm pretty sure like John was in Ghost whenever he was talking to Bran, and Bran was a weirwood tree. So I don't know.
I think so too, actually.
Yeah, he was like talking about how can a scream be silent. So like he heard a voice. It wasn't the wind. He heard a voice, and he knew it was his brother. But so I'm pretty sure Weirwoods, you know, if you're strong enough, maybe you can make them talk.
Yeah, and you know, I actually wonder if it's a rare thing. You know, like not all of them can do that. Like if maybe Bran's like a special person, because like even at least on the show, he looks kind of surprised when he does that. Like when he yells out "Father." Yeah. You know, so yeah, I kind of wonder if he's the one that maybe went back and put that in Aerys' head, even with the burn 'em all. But okay, just a little bit that we're going to learn is that with the Weirwood, the whole Weirwood Net is that they kind of attach themselves. When the children die, they become a weirwood basically. So that's like your spirit, and it's like a way for their ancestors. Come on. Now, some of them go into like birds and other animals and other stuff too. So every now and then, like you'll see Bran later on when you get to Dance with Dragons. then where he wargs into a bird, one of the ravens, and he's like, I felt someone else in there, and it's one of the children of the forest that's living one of their next lives in a bird or whatever. See, that's another time we have that.
A lot of the ravens and crows and stuff in the story are way smarter than any bird should be.
Yeah.
So I guess, like, I would say a lot of them probably have children of the forest spirits in them. Especially Lord Mormont's raven. That one, that one's not just a raven at all.
Well, a lot of people think that Mormont's raven is actually controlled by Bloodraven or Bran, just depending on what time it is, and what it's saying and what's going on. Because, like, it's saying, and I'm thinking about Connie when I'm saying this one, because me and her have talked about this one a lot. When it's saying corn, it's saying corn, like corn half hand, and then it's talking about Snow when it's trying to get them to think about Jon Snow a lot too, and just little different things. It says king, it's like planting ideas in its head. Well, everybody's head, just depending on who it's around at the time,
Yeah.
And it just seems weird that it seems really convenient that it tends to be the same raven over and over. I don't think so, I agree. Them ravens are really smart, and there's mention of a few different people. Like there was a
smart, powerful. Apparently, isn't like Bloodraven like one of the like most powerful people there is, other than the Night King?
Yeah. No, okay. Yeah, he is. He is.
All right, so you want to answer that? Oh, no. Don't do that to me, Ray. I feel like I asked a stupid question.
When we were talking about the birds, I was like, huh?
Sorry. Oh, God.
Do you think that it was whenever Sam and Gilly were getting attacked by the White Walkers and all them ravens were there to help them? Do you think that was Bloodraven doing that? Or do you think that that was just a bunch of, like, children of the forest spirits inside of the crows that did not like the White Walkers?
No, I think that was Bloodraven.
You think it was Bloodraven?
Totally, yeah. No, I have moments where I'm like, I call them insert Bran here moments, where I'm like, nope, that's Bran interfering. And then I have other ones where I know it's like, no, that's Bloodraven. Like, just where they have either dreams or visions or just stuff messing with them, then I think it's him interfering. And then there's times where, like, I'll give you an insert Bran here moment. When Ned and Jaime are fighting, and then all of a sudden the Lannister soldier suddenly decides to stab Ned in the back of the leg, that was really random. And why? I think that was Bran.
Wow.
I think that was him just manipulating something there. And there's just a few times like that. There's quite a few times like that I think that have been manipulated like that. And there's times that I think that Bloodraven, we see Bloodraven messing with stuff all the time. He messed with Bran all the time. He messed with Jojen. He messed with Euron. He messed with him too. So,
He sure messed with Euron.
Yeah. It's crazy stuff. Oh, I love you, Connie. You're sweet.
I'm sorry, but I'm still confused at how Weirwoods is a tree, isn't it?
Huh?
I'm still confused on how Weirwoods ties in with Children of the Forest. I mean, Weirwoods is a tree, is it not?
When the children die, it's like, think of it like as that's what they become. It's like, oh, they die and their body goes into the ground, and oh, there comes a weirwood. Think of it like that.
So a weirwood is a magical tree, basically?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
They call them heart trees for a reason. Now let's talk about weirwoods, because there's some crazy stuff going on with weirwoods now. Okay. Now, weirwoods like blood sacrifices. Now, let's talk about the first men and stuff like that, and we're going to get talking about the reeds too. Oh, yeah, there's a lot of stuff we got to get into still here. The old gods are basically, I mean, when you think about it, it kind of goes back to the children of the forest, which the children of the forest worshipped old gods. So really, who are the old gods? And are the old gods the same gods as the old gods of Valyria? Are all the old gods the same? There's a question for you to think about too. What if they are all the same?
Wow.
Because we get all these names of like Valyrian gods from most of the dragons and stuff, right? Which we're not going to get into Valyria right now. But just saying. But and then we hear about the old gods of the north and the children of the forest and all that stuff. So what if they are really one and the same that it all comes down to? No, it's not a Ridley crown. It had a little deer right here, though, actually, but it reminded me of Children of the Forest. It did remind me of Ridley when I got it, though. But then the deer fell off. I lost my stag, so yeah, no more Ridley. I was so mad. Damn you, Hot Topic. Right? He used to work there. He knows. So, like, the first minute and everything, okay, when they got there, and you were talking about how, like, the Andals and everybody, I'm not a fan of the Andals either, so we're just not even going to talk about them, okay? Yeah. Okay, but and Cammy, you know about the pact and all that stuff. I mean, that's kind of what the whole story's based on, right?
Yes. Well, I mean, do I know about that? I've heard about all this stuff. Do I know about it? Know about it? No. But I'm aware. You know?
So the pact was
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah. And the children of the forest. It was for the first men to stop cutting down their trees, and they would get to live in like the areas that were like plainy and not foresty, and the children would go live in the forest. And they had like, was it like 3,000 or 4,000 years of peace after they made the pact before the Andals came and messed everything up?
Yeah. That's it. The Andals came and messed everything up. And then they started chopping down the weirwood trees. That's why in the South you don't have very many weirwood trees. But there's still God's woods, which is where the weirwood trees at the castles were. And in a lot of them, they'll have like a giant oak tree or something now, or something. They at least still have a nice wooded area, benches and stuff like that. Like you'll hear it described at River Run. We see it at River Run, actually. That's where Karsark was beheaded on the show. And it's just, I think the Blackwoods are probably one of the main houses. I'm trying to think of just random ones in the South, but let's talk more about what's going on up north. But that actually have weirwoods even in the South because so many of them got chopped down. We do have High Heart, though. Let's talk about High Heart for a minute. High Heart is like kind of in the Riverlands, right? And it's like a circle of weirwood stumps. We've had a few people there, Arya, Jamie, that have rode through there, the Brotherhood, and they tend to have some interesting dreams there. That's where Jamie ends up having his dream, and you're going to love that part when you get there, Brad. I don't know if you've gotten there yet.
Was he at High Heart? Are you talking about the dream where he's in the dark and Brienne comes? And
yes. He was laying his head on a weirwood stump. That was High Heart. Yeah.
The ghost of High Heart.
Yeah, and then Arya kind of gets into it with the Ghost of High Heart.
Says she thinks Ghost of High Heart is a Children of the Forest.
I think the Ghost of High Heart, I used to think she was just a Children of the Forest. Now I kind of think she might be more than that. I think she's probably that Alice Rivers or whatever that was hooking up with Aemon. If not, then probably somehow related. Because, that's a fire and blood thing. We need to probably talk about that. Yeah, and they are. They are creepy ass children, man. They are,
Well,
man.
yeah, that's one way of saying the most beautiful species ever.
That's what I was reading. I see that, Kev, and I'll tell you what, they are always some creepy ass chillins, and I say creepy ass chillins all the time. Creepy ass chillins, and there's always every show you put on, it doesn't matter. Every book you read, and I blame Stephen King because he started it like way back when, like Salem's Lot, Children of the Corn, like way back. I mean, just even before that, I couldn't even tell you the first one. Those are like way back when I remember ones. I'm haunted by Children of the Corn to this day. It just messes me up. And that's thanks to Tennessee, by the way. But anyways, that's another story. Back to Weirwoods again. So the Ghost of High Heart, it's a big question, but yeah, she very well may be Children of the Forest. She did have the red eyes, so she's definitely a green seer.
And she's like 3 feet tall.
Yeah, a lot of people think she's like a dwarf because she was so little. She's like Arya's size when Arya's like 10.
So the thing about it for me, until last night when I was doing a whole lot of research, like I knew things, and I was very, very interested in things, but there was just little things that I didn't know, like the Children of the Forest only having 3 fingers and 1 thumb and long black claws and stuff. So like every single time I'm trying to make a connection, I'm always like, well, do they have 3 fingers?
See, if they made them on the show like they were in the books, I'd like them because they're cute that way, but they're not. They're just creepy little children, man.
It feels me every time you say that too.
It just
They are.
Oh man, that's like you. I watch too many horror films, is what it is too. Oh man. See, now I'm gonna go watch something tonight. Okay. So, and all right, now there's the question too of if she's really a ghost. I mean, does she just look old and scary, or is she a ghost? Because
I don't know.
She talks about the tragedy of Summer Hall and about her losses there and all that other stuff, but
I think she's alive.
Yeah, I think she is too. I think she just looks kind of like
really, really old.
Yeah, old and haggard. Okay, look at how we see Melisandre.
Okay. What?
Last night I read something saying that Melisandre was the ghost of High Heart, and I was like, this is...
I believed it when she took that ruby off and turned 100,000 years old before our eyes. I was like, what?
Okay, this chick
what?
in Ironwood.
I was like, why did you take it off? Put it back on.
There's just a lot of weird stuff going on. Milt says, Ghost is Bloodraven, albino, red eyes. What more do you want? I want to say that I brought Ghost with me today because I got really pissed he wasn't in season 7, so I felt he should be seen today. So everybody, I found Ghost.
Hi, Ghost.
Hashtag free Ghost. I also brought Long Claw too, just in case. You never know what you're facing at the door.
Why?
I'm wearing shorts today. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I'm in Florida. Sorry, I got waffly.
Did you just show some things on camera? Because I can't even see you guys. Because next time, for some reason, I can't. If I go into you right, then it's you and oh god, it's hard to explain. But I'm staring at our thumbnail pic. I can't even see you guys. So if you're showing little pops or whatever right now, I'll have to check them out later. I guess I could have just left all that out just now.
The Ghost of High Heart, she kind of like put a lot of things in motion as far as the prophecy and what's going on currently with John and the whole Prince who was promised and all that stuff, right? Do you know any of that?
You asking me or Branwyck?
Both of you. I don't think you do so much, Kimmy. Let me just say that.
You asked if I think the Ghost of High Heart put stuff in motion.
No, she did. Do you know that though?
I wasn't aware maybe that she put stuff in motion, but I know she saw a lot.
Yeah. Well, she's the one that set a lot of stuff in motion, okay? She went to the court. Okay. Now, you know who Jenny of Olson's is.
Oh, are you talking about Summer Hall?
Well, yeah, because apparently we're going to have to go back to Summer Hall a little bit here.
Oh, I thought you was talking about like whenever she told her visions about the stuff that happened. I thought you were saying that.
But it wasn't just Summer Hall that she put it. The whole prophecy with Rhaegar and the person was promised, which led us to where we're at with Jon, Daenerys, all that. Aegon's.
Yeah, I thought you was saying that like whenever she told Beric Dondarrion and them all her visions and stuff that she was putting that stuff in motion. I know what you're saying now. I was just
Okay. Yeah, she just set a lot of stuff in motion to get us to where we're at. So a lot of people are like, I'm having a hard time reading Fire and Blood. When you actually read Fire and Blood, you'll see that there's just a lot of connections between chicks in the books. If you're looking at it, and it'll make you just kind of wonder if we're leading to the Ghost of High Heart, because we very well could be. Because it just seems that we're just on a certain path. And it makes you really curious, especially when you consider where we're at with Melisandre and what's going on with her. And it makes me wonder how many other red priests and priestesses are around that we're not even aware of. I know, like, in the Dorne chapters, they do mention that there are red temples. We know that there are in Volantis and all that too. So, but we're getting off track of Weirwood, so let's get back to that. So, go to High Heart. She is at High Heart, and there was the stuff there. Okay, so but there's a lot of dreams that happen there, and she has a lot of prophecies for that. So back to the Weirwoods in the north and all. So we do have a lot of Weirwoods everywhere in the north. They do got the faces on them. Now here's a weird thing: the faces do like change expressions and cry and stuff too. We know that Bran goes like in Bloodraven, they actually do go into the tree, and you'll learn this whenever you get to later Bran chapters. And they actually do go into the tree, and he'll actually, where you were talking about that Theon chapter, he'll actually go to that part and see. So they actually do go and see through and feel through it, Milt says the old gods, the drowned god, and the Lord of Light all vying for power with their prophets and instruments of war. But that is probably the prophet of the gods of the old gods.
What's TGHH?
That's what I was wondering. TGHH.
Milt. Milty.
I got the Lord at any time.
Milt.
Goes to High Heart. You put too many letters in there. But yeah, no, you're right. But then you think about too that you got Patchface and all them going with it too.
Oh, it's the Ghost of High Heart, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. That was a butterfly moment. Bear with me. I really did. I know.
Milt.
Bless my heart. Just bless my heart. Y'all just don't even know. It's been a day. My God.
Oh, God.
Okay. So, all right. What else you guys want to talk about? Brady, you got a list. Let's get to it.
I want to talk about Weirwood furniture.
Yeah. Okay. So, let's talk about what I think is.
He was talking about Weirwood
furniture.
I thought he said furniture.
Yeah.
Furniture.
So there's a throne in the Eyrie that Sweet Robin sits on. And Sweet Robin is a very handsome little boy. And he's always hearing these voices and hearing these like music around him and hearing all kinds of crazy shit. And everyone thinks Sweet Robin's nuts. Well, Sweet Robin is probably like got some kind of telekinetic, among other things, going on. Who knows? And yeah, like there's some stuff attached to that weirwood tree, that weirwood throne. I'm telling you. So, Brandon, where you want to go with this one? What do you know about it?
I definitely think weirwood furniture, like just being around even dead weirwood, can have some kind of effect on you. I was trying to find out last night if like any of the Kingsguard went crazy or had like prophetic dreams or anything, because their table is weirwood.
Yeah.
And
there's actually a castle that was made out of weirwood too.
And Ygritte uses a weirwood bow, so like she's always holding a piece of weirwood. Does this affect the people that are in contact with it? You know, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, obviously the throne in the Eyrie does. So.
But the question is, do you think Sweet Robin is some kind of greed seer power, though, that would make him that way? Or, like, is it in his blood for him to be that way? Or do you think that it's just...
Well, his dad was born real small, too. So, maybe. But I don't know if he has anything, like, blood ties, really.
Hey, Jen.
Hi, Jen.
Now, it's like... Okay. Now, Littlefinger, first of all, was, like, from Bravos. Well, he wasn't. His grandfather was. That's why when they talk about Sansa, like, defeating the giant at Winterfell, which was something that was prophesied.
Right after the, by the Ghost of Highheart.
Yeah, by the Ghost of Highheart.
Right after she said that she would have, she saw a maid with purple snakes in her hair.
Yep.
With venom.
Yes.
She slayed a giant in a snow castle, I think.
Yes. And Bubba Husky said too, yeah, this is something else. Bloodraven had an entire unit. All his Raven's teeth, yeah, their archers were weirwood bows. And that is a good point. And you know what? I think that the weirwood probably had magic in it, if nothing else. And that it did have some tie to the children of the forest or something. Because, or their magic at least, you know? Okay, now, all right, I want to say this real quick. Let me just put this out there. All right, now, I'm sorry for my science people out there because I know y'all don't think there's all the magic in Game of Thrones, but, you know, I do. So I think that we have the different elements, though. So let me put it that way. I think there's balance to it. I think that the children of the forest are one part of it. I think that they're like others are another part of it. I think that the drow god is one part of it. I think the Eyrie is. And then I think like the Targaryen, the dragon part of it, you know? Like I think there's just a different sides. And they just kind of all got to balance out. Does that make sense?
There's definitely magic.
Yeah, yeah.
There's like a Grand Maester of magic or something.
The higher mysteries, but it's just, it's not as strong as it used to be until the dragons come back.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And then, like, because we get the magician, the fire mage again. I always bring up the fire mage where he's climbing up the ladder with the cut purse.
That was a really cool part of the book.
Right? It really was, actually.
Where was she at? Was she in Karth?
Karth, yeah. And then, plus, when you think about their ties to dragon glass, the children of the forest are using dragon glass too. So they're using another different type of elemental to use to go against one type of element, you know?
Yeah. Well, like, dragon glass is
frozen fire.
Yeah, basically. Fire put into earth.
Yeah. It literally is frozen fire.
So the children of the forest used the dragon glass daggers and weirwood bows, and we're talking about how dragon glass could slay a dragon. I'm not that far in Fire and Blood, but somebody went with the king who knelt with the weirwood arrows to kill a dragon, right?
Yeah, it was actually his bastard brother. He had 3 weirwood arrows that he cut, and he was going to use them to slay the 3 dragons, but instead he talked his brother out of it and decided to retreat, and his brother actually went with him to do it. Like, it was her or whatever. And his name, I think, was Brandon.
So did Children of the Forest just fight with dragon slaying weapons? You know?
Well, here's a question I gotta pose to you. How did the Children of the Forest end up with all the dragon glass? Where were the dragons? Why weren't they
ICD.
ICD?
Well, Maester Lewin says that like it's forged in the fire of the gods deep beneath the earth. So I guess they like mined it out of caves, right?
Mined it out of caves? Okay.
Yeah. Like, he says there's only like so many things hotter than wildfire or something like that. And like
there's actually something hotter than wildfire?
Yeah, dragon fire's hotter, and the fire beneath the earth where it is hotter.
Oh, yeah, dragon fire's hotter. Duh. That makes sense.
Volcanoes.
And what else? What was that?
The fire beneath the earth, like lava and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Which, again, you think about, brings me back to the tunnels that the children use. So what the hell are all the tunnels running underneath? Because, again, you bring up Fire and Blood. We learn under Harrenhal, there's tunnels running under there. And there's also that black stone. And, yeah, Bubba Husky says, like, at Dragonstone. Dragonstone is actually built on Dragon Mountain. The Dragon Mountain is at Dragonstone. Even in the books, there's the Dragon Mountain, is what they call it. And it is just a mountain of dragon glass. So that's going to come into play somewhere. But then you look at places like Hardhome, too, and that seems like that might have been mined at one time.
Hi, Carrie.
You know, we've been trying to figure out all the tunnels and stuff going on at Hardhome and trying to figure out if they were lava tubes or whatever. What if that's exactly what it was, and that's where they just mined dragon glass? Or that's where dragon glass actually blew out from an eruption, possibly. I know Marie. That's a question for Marie or Milt, probably, if that was actually in the line of volcanic activity at Hardhome. Because I know it was supposedly the lava tubes and stuff right there.
Well, that's where the second sun rose, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. From where they seen it from the wall.
Some kind of eruption or something over there.
Right. They seen something from the wall from Eastwatch. And it looked like the second sun coming up in the sky. So, yeah. Why were they fighting with it? Why was that their choice weapon? I mean, they were only up against the giants, really. And I mean, okay, there's spots in the books that talk about true men. I was telling you about this, I think, man. Like, if you look up House Shet, the one that sounds kind of wrong, that's still Novell, it says that their descendants from their ancestors were kings of the true men at one point, you know. And maybe, possibly, that may be where the Starks came from. I'm just saying. We kind of really don't know. All we know is they came in and took over the North and became.
Wow. Could be, Ree. So I know a lot of your theories have come true in the past.
What do the Starks play into with the Children of the Forest? I mean, I can see them with the Weirwoods. That just might be, you know, they might just worship old gods or whatever. But what's the connection? Why are they so important with the Children of the Forest? Did they make the original? I mean, I guess they could have, especially if that's how they're drawing on it, you know?
Well, Kev says to check out Milt's channel for a geology of Winterfell. That's for sure.
I see that. I haven't watched it in a long time. You're gonna have me going back and watching it too.
Yeah, you'll need to.
See, my memory goes like this, and then I'll be like, "Oh yeah, I remember." I will. I actually was looking at it the other day, going, "I need to watch that." And I watched the other one.
Yeah. Mountains usually involve volcanoes, you said. When it's quiet like that, y'all, that's rethinking.
Yeah. Brand, what was it? Go on your list some more. I want to see what else you got. Brand made a list of things he was thinking about involving Weirwood, so yeah.
Yeah, how far did you get on your list, Brand?
Well, we talked about like the Weirwood furniture and stuff. Last night I found out there was a whole castle made of Weirwoods, but it was like
What?
a bower or something. But no one really knows where it's at, apparently. The next thing on my list is races related to the Children of the Forest, like the North, and there's another race that carves trees in Essos. And I can't remember what they call them right now. But we already kind of discussed that with how Ree thinks that, you know, there's just different factions to it all over the planet that we have. I want to talk about the Tale of the Laughing Tree Night, if y'all want to.
Oh yeah.
Say that again. The tale of the what?
The Laughing Tree Night.
Yeah. The
I don't even-
Woodwalkers. Yeah.
The
Woodwalkers were who you were thinking about, and that's us.
Oh yes, that is it.
The Laughing Tree Night. Are you saying the Laughing Tree?
Right. He's saying it wrong. I know who he's talking about. He's
Night
saying
with
the Night of the
the
Laughing Tree is who he means, which is Lyanna.
Okay, N-I-G-H-T, not K-N-I-G-H-T.
Lyanna Stark. I just think it's Lyanna Stark. I mean, it's kind of like, I mean, duh, at this point, ain't it really? I mean, does anybody not think it was Lyanna?
I'm still trying to figure out if he meant N-I-G-H-T or K-N-I-G-H-T.
K, with a K.
That's what I thought. The Laughing Tree Night. So that's just
Excuse me.
an individual.
Yeah, it's a story that Mira tells Bran in one of his chapters, and it's about the tourney of Harrenhal.
Oh, cool. And the Laughing Tree Night, why would they call him that?
No, it was the Night of the Laughing Tree. Okay. Let me write you through it real quick, Kimmy. I'm going to give you a little short version, okay? Okay. So, you know about Harrenhal, right? The Harrenhal tourney? You know that?
Yes, well, yeah. No, I mean, yeah.
It's
I mean, I never.
Okay. Let me give you a quick breakdown. All right.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna try and do all right. Think about this was like a little Woodstock that lasted a couple weeks, sort of thing. You know, Lollapalooza, Coachella, whatever the hell you want to think about it, whatever generation you are. You know, that happened for we're gonna say about 2 weeks or so in the Riverlands at Harrenhal for all of them in Westeros, where they were having a tourney. So, you know, they were having the melee and all that stuff going on, you know, and the nights were going, you know.
A tourney is a tournament, basically?
Yeah. Right? So, Howland Reed had been on the Isle of Faces, and he was a Krennicman, right? So they're frog eaters. They're a little different. They're a little smaller stature, you know, just kind of a little guy. And they don't carry swords and like the rest of the lords and ladies, you know. And he kind of carries I think it was a little pitchfork looking thingy or whatever, like you would go frog gigging with is how I think about it, that sort of thing. And I love how they're getting going over here. I might point you you can see it was right over here. You see? Okay. Sorry. Okay. So, and he came from the Isle of Faces, where he's the only person that we know of, by the way, that's been to the Isle of Faces, right? And he came from there and ended up, he had never been to one and ended up going to attorney at Harrenhal. Well, these three little jackasses, squires, decided that they were going to pick on Helen Reed. Well, badass little Lyanna Stark came up and said, nope, that's my father's man. Leave him the hell alone. And she had her brothers with her. Well, she had Benjen and she had Ned with her. Brandon went with her. He was off knocking someone up for one of his many bastards. Let's put it that way. That's where Brandon was off knocking hoes. So Brandon Starks, I'm telling you. And okay. So then the next day or whatever, like a couple days later, whenever they did the tourney, the Mystery Knight showed up. Mystery Knight had on her shield, or on their shield. I'm saying her because I really do think it was. Mismatched armor, by the way. Oh, yeah. Adam Valeria did go to the Isle during the Dance of the Dragons. Thank you, Bridge. Thank you. Oh, I love Adam Valeria, too. Okay, sorry, that was a butterfly moment. Okay, back to Harrenhal. Okay. See, this what happened for okay. And so this Mystery Knight shows up wearing mismatched armor that did not fit, right? And they're kind of, they're kind of small in general, right? And like the only people it could possibly be would be like Benjen, Howland Reed, or Lyanna Stark. Anyways, they go and they tap them three squires. That's who they pick to go up against, right? Whoops their butts. And then says, they're like, oh, well, what do you want, for the ransom? Instead of getting the ransom, they're like, why don't you just teach your squire some manners? And basically it shamed them. So then Ares gets kind of pissy. And he's like, all right. And he sends Rhaegar after. And it says, go find that, whoever that was. Okay, Brad, I heard you. Got you, babe. And okay. And then, and that was it. So when said Ares got mad, sent Rhaegar after it, and all they found was like the shield and armor underneath the tree. The Mystery Knight disappeared. Pissed Ares off because he thought it was like a slight against him for some reason. Because he was delusional. He was mad king at this time, right? So that's who the Knight of the Laughing Tree was. So it's a big mystery on who it really was. But
I for a minute when you said, did I hear you correctly when you said they were picking on Howland Reed?
Yeah.
Isn't he like a badass fighter?
Yeah. But he's a little dude. He's a little dude, man. Gotta fuck with a little guy.
He was a scrawny little kid, I guess.
Yeah.
So when you're this story, it must have been when they were younger, I guess.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Yeah. See, Lyanna was only 15, if that tells you anything. And then right after this is when Rhaegar took off with Lyanna. So, and then that sparked a rebellion. So the tourney at Harrenhal is what led to Robert's rebellion, pretty much.
Okay. That I've heard a lot about too. That's cool that you explained that because I always wondered what led up to that.
Oh, yeah.
I knew it had to be something epic.
And you know what? Kev, you might be jealous of my weather, but I promise you it'll be raining soon again. Or cold. It goes back and forth all the time. And the God's Eye is very interesting. It actually reminds me of a place that's over in Africa. I don't know if you guys get into some of you guys I know do, but you probably know exactly where I'm talking about too. Like if you get into maps and stuff, go look over in Africa. There's a place that kind of resembles the God's Eye.
Wow.
So, it's like dried up now. It's like gone. It's desert, but it just reminds me of it. kind of a prediction of the future to me. Yeah. Anyways,
what's the Kranich men?
The Kranich men are the men that live in. Okay, let's go to the next, shall we?
Well, Bubba Husky said that people picked on them for how they fight.
Yeah, it's how they fight, how they live. Okay, and here's the thing: they don't live in they're like the swamp folk. Okay,
swamp folk.
Yeah, let's imagine that you went down and hung out with some swamp folk, and they're living in the trees and the woods and stuff, right? That's how they live. They're very, 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 very
Hi, David.
To the children of the forest. Very similar. Even in their stature, because they're very small and slight of build and height and everything. So they're definitely bred in for the children of the forest a lot. And even if you go to Greywater Watch, which is the seat of the deck, that's Helen Reed's castle, it moves. You can't, no one can ever find it. That's why it's so safe. And that's why the Kranich men are so badass, because they can basically blend in, and they're
well, then why
midges and stuff
how would people make fun of them for how they fought then?
Because they were different. They called them frog eaters because they ate frogs, and there was lizard lions, which were basically alligators there, and they lived in a swamp, and they looked different, and they were just different. They were different. Yeah. Why does anybody get fun of them?
Well, then they didn't make fun of them for how they fought. They made fun of them for
they fought differently. They didn't use swords.
They didn't use swords and stuff. They used nets and frog spears.
Right, frog spears. Thank you, frog spears. I was trying to think of what the hell to call them.
Frog spears.
Yes.
Frog spears.
Victoria, thank you.
Gigging.
The lake in Africa is Lake Victoria. Thank you, Carrie.
Thank you, Carrie. Oh, Carrie. Carrie's an 8 is so smart, y'all. Everybody here is, though. Dang.
It was Carrie McDonald, actually.
Oh, okay. Another smart one.
Yeah.
He wasn't in the chat at the moment. But wow, what a trip.
I love it that they're talking about all the...
I think I have a new favorite people, the Kranich men.
Oh, yeah, they're really cool, actually. They're talking about pets and all that. I love it.
They fought with nets and frog spears. You know what? Hey, nets, though, I bet they could scoop up a lot of people in the nets. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Ashara is in the deck. I don't think so either.
Bubba said they fight from boats with bronze daggers, poisoned darts, nets, wooden spears with multiple points, and utilizes guerrilla tactics.
Yeah.
They sound badass.
They really do. They remind me of how they use it reminds me of kind of SEAL tactics or something like that. Just how they you ever watch Rambo and stuff like that, how they just kind of put on the camo and just kind of go into the woods and just kind of get real into it. That's what I think of when I think of the Kranich.
Kev. And they ride alligators on the weekend for fun.
Hey, why you bullshitting, Kev? You talking about looks nice in Florida, right behind me. You see that water? There's at least one alligator I hear every night. And I see him jump out the water every now and then and grab some birds.
Wow.
That's scary, Reed.
I skinned an alligator one time. I had a friend that used to catch alligators. He worked for the whatever department that does that and helped him skin it. It was a 13-foot alligator.
Damn.
It was an experience.
I guess so. It sounds like it.
It was just what the fuck?
Memorable experience.
Yeah, it was just one of them things that's okay. I bet Jen's been around alligators. She's over there. Come on, help me out, Jen.
He said they put really poop on the arrow tips. Gross. For what? What point? What? Carrie McDonald said they put their own poop on the arrow tips. Okay, what? What the fuck? What? What would be the purpose in this? Hello?
I'm trying to think. You couldn't see
okay.
me. I did my hands up like,
It used to be
I mean,
when it hits you.
yeah.
it what when it hits you?
It would probably give you some kind of infection.
Ooh, probably.
You don't want to get somebody else's doo-doo in an open wound, you know?
Me too, Kev. I'm the same way.
Oh, thank you, Branwyck. You made me. I wouldn't have somebody else's doo-doo.
Okay, West Jersey Ninja Melt says, if the glaciers on Earth melted, Louisiana would be part of the Gulf of Mexico. You know what? And he said, so will Florida. You know what? I've been waiting for Florida to like just be gone for my entire life. I've just been waiting for it. So
I've been waiting for California.
Yeah,
I've been waiting for that of California to just fall into the ocean.
You know what? That's where I used to want to either move to New Orleans or California. So it's like I'm just screwed no matter where I go.
Okay.
And my only other go-to place is Tennessee. So there's probably really a volcano underneath all the mountains.
Quit picking coastal states, Ree.
I like the water.
In Nebraska with your Cornhusker family like me.
I don't even know if there are any alive up there.
Wow.
I think I got an aunt still alive up there. Maybe.
Okay. Next on the list, Branwyck. I guess. Sorry.
Oh, the castle. Yeah, the castle though is missing. There was a Weirwood Castle. I believe it was in
the Bower.
I don't remember what. I think it was in the Breach.
I thought it was in. No, I didn't read this anywhere. I just kind of assumed it would be like somewhere closer to High Heart, somewhere in like the Riverlands or the Westerlands or something. I just pictured it in my mind's eye over there.
That's why I picture it in the Reach. I keep thinking it's in the Reach. I don't know now. I'm questioning everything about that place.
I'm gonna Google where it's at.
I know. I'm thinking about that one now because I can't remember.
Yeah, Milt. I'm waiting. What did he say? I'm waiting for the ozone layer to disintegrate and turn all humans into mutants. Yikes!
We probably already are. It's an official uphill spill. And if you watch the right shows, you know what I'm talking about.
This thing says that Greenfield, originally known as the Bower, is the seat of House Greenfield in the ... Oh my God, now it's going to take forever to load. In the Westerlands.
Westerlands, okay.
That
makes sense.
Exact location is not stated, though.
I knew it was somewhere rich that had a lot of money. Because I was thinking, of course they would. Like, build a Weirwood Castle, you know, just to kind of show off wealth. Now, you know something I thought about, too, and this is something I want to bring up, too, because we're talking about Children of the Forest. It only makes sense to bring up giants. Okay, now I think about the hills of the Westerlands, and I think that there's giants buried in the hills of the Westerlands. Because they talk about the giant bones in the...
Buried in the hills of Westeros.
This is in my mind. This is just in my mind.
How in the hell
crazy tinfoil
could a giant be buried?
It just makes me think of that's where they were buried. Like there's giant mounds there. And the reason I think about, this is something that we have for real. This is a real thing that is this. Look it up. I mean, this actually is real.
Wow.
They found thousands of these that exist in real life. So I guess that's why I think about it when I think about the hills of the Westerlands. But I just think that, I think that, in the Whispers, we have we hear about that in Fire and Blood. It seems like the lady there. And have you got to the Whispers yet in the books, Brad?
The Whisperer?
The Whispers?
I don't know.
Okay, you probably haven't. If you don't know, then you haven't got there. Well, there's all these talking heads there, basically, is what the story comes down to. Dead heads that are like, but they still whisper. So you hear all the whispers there even now to this day. Well, it comes from where there was a woods witch. It's always a woods witch. And the guy she was married to. But you hear the description of the guy she was married to, and it just sounds like a giant. So, it seems a few times that giants come up in Fire and Blood too. Alcyon was taken to see giants' bones at Winterfell, so we know that there's giant bones at Winterfell too. And they actually fought giants at Winterfell at one point, and giants helped build Winterfell, I believe, as well. They helped build the wall. Now, giants were the natural enemies of the children of the forest. They actually went against them. And I believe that there was more aggressive giants that lived before, and I think that they were the ones that were in the Westerlands. If I'm not mistaken. Or that's just where my brain's putting it, maybe. I don't know.
I'm not seeing how giants and children of the forest tie in. I'm just
because that was their enemies. That's who children of the forest were warring against.
Oh, I thought the children of the forest enemies was just mankind.
Oh no, bless your heart. Okay, as the dawn age,
man came.
Yep. Let's back up. Let's back up for Cammy. In the dawn age.
Back up for Cammy.
In the dawn age, there was the children of the forest, and there were the giants. Okay.
Oh, okay.
And they had times of peace, and they had times of war.
Okay.
And then along came man, and went and fucked everything up.
Yeah. It's like, go away, man. We're busy fighting here. Yeah. Fuck everything up.
Yeah.
I mean, sounds like they were a little fucked up.
Bubba Husky said Neville Dick is the best tour guide. Yeah, and he's the one that gives Brienne and Podrick in the books the tour through the Whispers. And yeah, he really is. I wish we had a lot more Neville Dick. And that's legit.
Hashtag back up for Cammy.
All right. Milt said, "Do giants sprout up from the ground like the dwarves of Middle Earth?" You know, that's hilarious.
Hashtag back up for Cammy. That's gonna be a saying.
Right. I was talking about going to New Zealand the other day just to see the little Hobbit world.
Carries an 8, which equals wise woman. Yeah. Really. Crone equals crowned. I know you agree on that. Which equals wise woman. Ree is a thing for witches, y'all.
All magical creatures.
Ree came from witches, y'all.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to look through chat. Hang on. I'm trying to see.
Okay.
What was the best character name? What was the house was? It isn't Wow or Will, because I always get messed up, Bubba. I was reading Bubba there. Is it Wow or Will? That always messes me up. Okay, Ree, do you think that there are any children of the forest left? Yes, I do. For one, I'm going to tell you who I think are children of the forest, okay? Now, I'm starting to question Mary Mazdur, and this is books, because of her scene and only Danny appearing to see what was inside the tent with her, and just her random creepy behavior and use of all the different languages and just her knowledge and behavior. I'm starting to really question. I think Mary Mazdur is a children, or was a children of the forest. And maybe even her magic might have kind of helped the dragons hatch and helped Danny. Who knows? Maybe her magic passed along into Danny instead this time. Or different kind of children. Okay, now let me explain something too. I think there's different kinds of children in the forest. I don't think they're all necessarily of the forest. I think there's different kinds of singers. Let me call them that. In the book, they're called singers because they all sing the song of the earth, which is they carry on the stories of whatever and what happens, right? Are you following me, Cammie?
Yes, me?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm following you.
Okay. So, like, okay.
I mean,
like
that makes sense that there'd be different ones, you know.
right.
Just like there's different races of mankind, so yeah.
Right.
Different races, so to speak.
Right. Another one, and a good way to explain this is Bloodraven talks about the
I'm confused by you calling them singers.
It's because they sing the song. Most of them don't speak the common tongue.
The children of the forest don't call themselves the children of the forest. They call themselves, what is it, the singers of the earth?
Yeah.
Okay.
Men called them the children of the forest because they lived in the forest when they were small like children.
Right.
Okay.
Even though they don't really, and they don't look like children. They don't really look like kids. Not really, really.
Not really. They got really big ears and really big yellow, green, or red eyes with like cat slits in them.
Right. And then you got like Masande. I think Masande's probably one. Oh, I think Masande's definitely one. I ain't even gonna say probably. I think she definitely is one.
She's something else, and she's up to something.
Yeah, but yeah, I think she is. And I've questioned the book waif on what her deal is. She just made me question her. Because she's just different in the book. She's not that that we have on the show.
Yeah. The follower that we have on the show.
Yeah. Yeah, T-1000.
That's what show for, you know.
Yeah.
And she's
yes, man.
And the Woodwalkers, we have the Woodwalkers too. And we have the Jogos 9 too. Which okay, I don't know that they're not like children of the forest, but the cool thing about them is just because they got the Zorses, which are like the little zebra horses and stuff looking things, you know. But just their whole tribal thing that they got going on, and the Dothraki too. So I mean, we don't know what kind of Seers, because you look at the Dothraki, they got the Krolls at base Dothrak, right? The Jogos, what is the Jogos Night? They got their little Seers there too, actually. But everybody's got their own little Seers and stuff anyways, right? But, and then, like, you go down in the House of Black and White actually goes down. Like, it goes down into tunnels and stuff too. So it really kind of ties to the children there.
Ooh, are we going to talk about the other trees?
Yes, let's do it, baby.
The other trees.
The other trees.
The other weirwood trees?
The moon singers. Thank you. Jonas and I ones are the moon singers. Thank you, Milt.
The other trees
other weirwood trees or other trees other than weirwood trees?
Other trees other than weirwood trees. I don't know if they have a name, but they have black bark and blue leaves instead of white bark and red leaves. And
we'll call them nightshade trees.
And
black bark and blue trees. Cool.
And that's what they make the nightshade out of, that the wizards.
Oh, what? Okay, now we're talking. Which kind of tree is this?
It's the we'll call it the nightshade tree because I don't think it really has a name that I've ever heard.
I had a nightshade tree in my backyard.
The shade of the evening trees. There we go. Shade of the evening trees.
I've always been kind of curious.
That's my new favorite tree.
There's places with doors, and like one door is white, one door is black, and it's ebony and weirwood. So, like, is ebony the other tree?
Yeah.
Ebony.
Sorry. Yeah. Now, I actually did a lot of research on trees trying to match up what could possibly be. And now, like, at the House of Black and White is an ebony that is where they have the weirwood tree. It actually is an ebony tree. So, I don't know that that's what it is, because I was wondering if that's what it could possibly be. And I looked up a bunch of different trees trying to figure out what it could be. And I never could really decide what in real life it could be compared to. Now, I found a lot of them that weirwoods could be compared to, but not the shade of the evening tree. Sorry.
Can that tree like hold like the hive mind just like the weirwoods? Because it's basically, they're both magical trees, and then they're the opposite colorings. So, like, there's got to be something more important to it.
Well, it does do something different. Okay, it does do something different. Okay, all right.
Good question, Branwyck.
I think it's all right. Well, number one, it does open your mind. I'll say that. So it does have that same effect. Okay. Like as far as opening your third eye, let's say that. Okay, because Daenerys drinks it. It's like the. I don't even want to say it's like the fire side. It's just the opposite side of the weirwood, basically. Not a fire side, though. It's just the opposite of it. Because Daenerys drinks it before she goes into the House of Black and White. She has all her visions, right?
Yeah.
Then you got the warlocks that are drinking it, but they're drinking it all the time. Now they're having visions. They're using it for powers. And, like, who knows what else that we don't even know of. But they're drinking it all the time at the House of their Night. Then the only other real person that I think of that is drinking it on the regs is Euron, right? Now, this motherfucker thinks that he's like God at this point. It's kind of creepy because he's saying stuff that is actually been prayers. Like we know Hoster Tully has talked about his prayers of complaining about the crabs in his belly. Euron has actually talked about hearing people praying about the crabs in the belly. He's kidnapping all these holy men and is doing who knows what with their blood, their holy blood, or them. But it seems to me that he's got some telekinetic thing going on with him. So, what exactly is going on with the shade of the evening makes me wonder if it's not like a hive mind so much as a, like, it is, but like in reverse. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, instead of where the weirwood, where Bran can see everything going on, drawing it in, connecting it to him, I think this one's sitting like waves out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, like, the Children of the Forest and Bloodraven and Green Seers and stuff, they bind themselves to the tree. So, like, the tree kind of grows into them and they live forever. But
right.
The other side of it, all those wizards, they drink what comes from the tree, and they seem to be staying alive forever, but they're still withering away.
Right. They're draining it, using it for immortality and to use it for power and corruption and all the wrong reasons. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like the opposite, but not the opposite, just works the different way, you know?
Right, right.
Cool. Wow. I had no idea there were this many kind of trees.
Oh, yeah, no. Oh, Carrie's dying of her.
I mean, I hear weirwood tree and I think of a ginormous pot plant.
And they're actually, okay, a weirwood tree is actually like bone white. When you think of a weirwood tree, you should think of a bone white tree with a face carved into it with like blood red sap on the face, you know, and then these red leaves that look like hands, like little small red hands.
What about hands?
I was telling you what the weirwood trees look like, honey.
Right, but I missed part of that.
Oh, it looks like little red hands.
What?
Leaves.
Leaves.
Branwyck, on your the picture I'm looking at, your profile pic, I guess you'd call it, your avatar. Is that a weirwood tree?
Yes.
That's what I thought. Well, then that's what it looks like, Ree. No. I mean, you've got me all confused. It looks like red hands. Okay, what?
You'll have to go with red hands, you were saying. They got 5 points, like fingers.
The trees do?
The leaves on the tree.
Okay, the leaves on the okay. Wow. Man, I bet that looks like a tree from Acid Trips.
Yeah, it's a wild looking tree.
Sounds it.
You kind of water a weirwood tree with blood and stuff, and they can live forever unless something messes with them. So the only tree I know about being messed with, other than like cut down and stuff, is the one at Raventree Hall, where the Brackens poisoned it because they don't like the Blackwoods.
Yeah.
I just all the ravens come there every single night and roost there every night. So like that's got to be a pretty powerful place for Weirwoods too, even though that it's dead, because those ravens, are going to have the children of the forest spirits in them and stuff. And what's going on with the Blackwoods anyway? We don't know anything about them.
Yeah, we don't really actually. We might find out. I expect to find out at some point, actually. More of their story, especially because of Bloodraven and Aegon the Fourth. I expect that we'll find out a lot more about them in Fire and Blood too, especially because we'll learn more about Aegon the Fourth then. And the Great Masters. So there should be a lot more, especially with Aegor being in it too. Bitter still. Because we'll have a lot of the rivalry and all going on too. So, okay, because, all right, Blackwoods, we know they have the rivalry going on. We know that they got kicked from the north. We have no idea why. See, and something I've wondered a lot is
what their house words are.
What their house words are.
That's what I wonder a lot.
Have you ever looked them up?
Yeah, I've looked them up. I can't find anything about them.
I know. I was trying to think. I don't even think I know. I don't
think they exist yet. Their words or anything.
Interesting. They should have some badass words too. I love House Blackwood. That's like one of my favorite small houses. That's probably my favorite small house.
So what are you always wondering about?
I don't even know now. But let's talk about the ravens there that come every night. Why did they come and hang out specifically there? So that makes me think there's a secret kept there or something known at that tree. And what exactly happened there? But we're going to have to find out because something obviously went down. We're going to find out at some point. They're not going to leave that unanswered.
Yeah, there's got to be more too. I mean, if it's, yeah.
And that tree is huge.
Yeah.
Like huge.
Well, that's like at the Wolf's Den too. You haven't got there.
Like the size of a building, huge, Branwyck.
Yeah, it's really, really, really big.
It overflows the courtyard.
Wow.
It is dead. It's a dead weirwood.
Ravens come at night that it looks like it has black leaves,
Yeah.
Okay, so the tree that we see in the show that Bran was being drawn to, What kind of tree is that? Is that a weirwood?
Yeah.
Okay. And that face on the tree. I mean, I always. What is that? I mean, like the old man that lives in the tree.
That old man that lives in the tree is Bloodraven.
What? I was just kidding when I said that. The old man that lives in the tree. That's I was right.
Yeah.
I was totally joking. Oh my God. Okay. So wait. Okay. Whoa. Hashtag back up for Cammy.
Carrie, we were talking about the ravens
It's Bloodraven.
Earlier
the old man in the tree is Bloodraven. What?
Yeah.
Now I'm sorry, Bran. I'm so sorry, Branwyck. We got to go back to Bloodraven now. I'm just kidding. Oh my! Wow.
Yeah, Blackwoods would blame the brackets for poisoning their tree. But you know, I wonder if the brackets really did poison their tree, or if that feud was just set up by somebody else. Because they married back and forth for many years, so there might as well be one big family anyways at this point. So, you know, it reminds me of like a Hatfield McCoy's type situation, you know. But I wonder if they were set up, if like the tree was actually poisoned by someone totally different, just to, you know, start that whole feud to begin with. And as far as the faces go,
Branwyck Blackwood would blame the Brackens for poisoning their tree.
and as far as the faces go on the tree, it depends who's looking out the tree at the title, what kind of face they make, and what kind of face they're making when they look out the tree.
That was one of my questions too. Was like, does the face change depending on who and when they looked out of it and how they was feeling at that time?
Yeah. We do see faces change. Now, here's an interesting little note that you might not have caught on to. When John Go makes his vows to become to join the Night's Watch, he actually makes it at the Laughing Tree. And when Bran comes back south with Mira and Midget drops him off at the Weirwood, and she's like, "Are you sure you're ready for this?" And he's like, "No, it's time." He touches the Laughing Tree.
You said Bran touches the Laughing Tree?
Yes, he does too. He does whatever he does. When Midget drops him and Mira off at the wall, or at the Weirwood, when he dumps them off when they're going back south. So into season 6.
Are there people that have it in for this tree that want to chop it down?
No, but the Laughing Tree is like representative of. I'm telling you, it's Lyanna. It just always comes back to Lyanna. It's like a giant Easter egg sort of thing.
Huh.
Always looking for Lyanna.
Yeah. Yeah. I was just going to say.
There.
I was just going to say, what is it with Lyanna that Ned was? Robert was in love with her, and
okay, all right.
A lot to do with Lyanna.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go, Cammy. Everything has to do with Lyanna.
The whole story's about.
Yeah. All right. Chat, you heard what Cameo just asked, right? Cammy, would you repeat that one more time, please?
Oh, God.
Just because.
Don't do that to me. Blame it on my ADD, baby.
Okay. Lyanna Stark is Ned younger. I was trying to think. Yep, she's younger.
Is John's mom, and Robert was in love with her. And
right. Okay.
Now she's a tree.
No.
What the fuck?
No, she's not a tree. She's not a tree.
Oh,
but
okay.
we see the laughing tree. Whenever Bran finds out that who John is, and whenever John makes his vows, it's the same tree.
She was the one dressed up in the tale of the Laughing Tree night, or the night of the Laughing Tree.
It's all going to lead to it, I'm telling you. It's going to be revealed to be her watch because every time
Okay. When you say it's all going to be. You talking about the show or the book?
the show, because every time it's always John related to John at the Laughing Tree. It shows Laughing Tree.
Okay. Because we're relying on D&D here, folks. And 6 episodes. I hope those episodes are going to be and a half long.
Bubba said, Leona Stark here's homewrecker.
And they promised an hour and a half episodes in season 7, if y'all remember correctly. So, anyway, I'm sorry.
Say that one again about season 7.
You were talking about Leona Stark and the tree and all this, and then I said, well, you got to remember 6 episodes, and then I was saying I hope they're an hour and a half long, like they promised of the season 7 episodes, which were not.
Yeah, no, they're not going to be Kimmy. They already released the time.
They're not going to be an hour and a half long.
No.
Well, okay, they just got even. The story just got even more rushed.
Yeah.
6 episodes at an hour.
No, because here it is. They're doing it how they feel it needed to be told, so it'll be whatever it needs to be for the story to finish.
Right away. Yeah.
Hey, Candy, how you doing?
Hi, Candy. Hi, LMR.
Oh yeah, Elmar popped in too.
Hey,
Hey,
Elamar.
Elmar. Oh, let me do it in the Bubba way. L-M-R.
LMR, yeah. She was there yesterday, y'all. Well, of course, Ree was. You know, I'm new to Facebook, so I accidentally. I'm not going to get into who, but I accidentally sent somebody a friend request that I don't exactly see eye to eye with. Now, this girl could have just not.
Hang on. Let me get back up here.
Okay.
Peter says, Peter Griffin, the Dorn is played by different rules. Rhaegar's wife is cool. I totally agree with that. I think that's why it happened the way it did. In Dorn, they don't care, man. I think Ilya Martell was totally down with Lyanna Stark and cool with it. She was sick. She knew what was going to happen. She was probably looking out to make sure that her kids would even have a future too. I bet you her and Lyanna even met, were friends or some crap like that. I bet it was one of them. Just,
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying. Doors down like that. Yeah, I'm telling you. It's one of those what happens indoors stays indoors.
Speaking of Dorne,
They got lemons, motherfucker.
Children of the Forest didn't like Dorne. They called it the Empty Lands.
And you know what? Dorne wasn't always empty, though. It wasn't until the first men came there and destroyed it. And there was actually Children of the Forest in Dorne at one time. It is mentioned in the books.
Is it?
Yes, it is.
Really?
And as the first men came and they screwed up, and everyone came and fought more, and they destroyed Dorne and turned it into Dorne currently. Then there was just nowhere. There was nowhere for the children to live. They just kept getting pushed further and further north. Sorry, I'm still congested from my cold, so bear with me, guys. And yeah, and I want to say this too. Candy said, I hate when people paint Ellie as a victim, because I do too, because I don't think she was. I think she was really like down. And
Who's Ellie? I don't even know.
Oh, honey. Yeah, Doors got to happen. It's got to happen. It's got to happen. Okay, Elia Martell was Rhaegar's wife, and it was Oberyn Martell's sister.
Oh, Elia Martell. Okay, that's all you had to say. Oh, she's the one that was killed by the mountain, correct?
Yeah.
Breaking Mount.
Yeah.
Okay. Always painting her as a victim. Well,
some people do, like poor Elia, because Rhaegar left her for another woman, but she's fucking Dornish. She gave him his shoulder. She told him that she couldn't have no more. She knew she couldn't. She was sick. She knew she probably shouldn't have had the baby that she just had, Aegon, And, she was like the sweetest person. She was known as like the sweetest person too. Come on.
Oh, yeah.
And come on. And she's a Dornish princess. What does she care about that,
I wonder, was she the jealous type? You know, when
No,
Rhaegar.
she wasn't though. She wasn't. I mean, she
Oh,
was
okay.
known as no.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah. But even if her kids still would have been first alive, and she probably would have been more. I'm reading Bubba Husky. I'm sorry. He said she would have been about as something of a younger girl shagging her husband, the future king, mind you, as Kat was of John. No, I don't think so, because mind you too that she's thinking about like Dornish law, which puts both her children in first in the line of succession, right? And they are. Jen says Dorne has more progressive in their thinking, and they are. Okay, we got to get off Dorne because I'll get on there for them.
Yeah, off the door. That's for another stream.
It's gonna happen. And we'll be taking issues next time because I will.
Oh, of course it's going to happen. Ree's been talking about Dorne for as long as I've known her, 3 years. Dorne this and Dorne that. Dorne.
Okay, what else you got on there? Let's go.
Peter.
What else?
Cameo is like Bran. She loves downloading years of reading in a single sitting. I also like making other people just tell me instead of just reading the books myself.
You're missing so much, Cammy.
And Branwyck was like, well, I studied up last night. I'm like, studied up? What's that? What? You think I do all that for these streams, but no, thank you. People be sending me links all the time. It's like, oh, that's okay. Just tell me. Just tell me. Don't make me listen and learn. KM in. Oh, God. Plus, I'm lazy, so, there's that. Ree got quiet again.
I was reading Dog said we'll dress up like stormtroopers. Don't be a sheep.
Bye, Jen.
Oh, bye, Jen. Have a good night.
Bye, Jen. Call you later.
Dinner. Yeah, Laurie is saying the Westerosi Michael Corleone. Yeah, okay. No, I'm not even going to touch it. What else you got on your list, Brad?
The last thing on my list is the Hammer of the Waters, because we've somehow talked about everything else on the list going along the way.
Okay. Yeah.
Did you say it was Hammer of the Waters?
Yep.
Okay. Wow, you're bringing up some really good stuff.
We should have actually talked about that when we were talking about the deck.
And the pact, yeah. We could have talked about it then, but we didn't.
Hammer of the Waters. Is this an object?
It's
a thing, a place?
Like a spell ritual kind of thing. The outcome of what the children did to fight.
They gathered all their strongest green seers, and I think there was like thousands.
Is there any subject you don't know, Riri?
Yeah. There's a lot I don't know, actually.
No. Oh, there's a lot. Are you kidding me? It's like I haven't heard one subject that you don't know bukus and bukus about.
Try me some shots. Depends where my brain's at that day, too.
Okay, Hammer of the Waters.
Okay, yeah. But they gathered all these green seers, the most powerful green seers, right? And they gathered at Mount Caelan and all, which is in the neck. And that's why it's like the biggest stronghold in the north, because they can like hold the north in the neck, because basically it funnels down, and Mount Caelan can hold it, because unless you can go past Mount Caelan, you ain't getting to the north, because it's just swamp, it's just bogs and stuff like that. You're not getting through there.
Okay.
So whenever the reason it's like that is because they brought down the hammers of the waters, and it was.
They did it twice, didn't they?
Yeah, well, one time we got the broken arm of Doran,
and then the second time it wasn't as powerful.
Right, and that's when we got the neck. So, and we've actually had 2 long nights mentioned that I'm aware of. because they talk about the first long night, and then they talk about another one that happened after that. Because the first, okay, and that's just that I'm caught reading, that I'm caught.
So the first one was before the Andals came.
The bear melt.
when was the second one?
Oh, well, say that again. I'm sorry.
Okay.
When you're reading The World of Ice and Fire, it'll talk about it. It's like a little box there, and it says like the first one that the children came to, and this is another type of children. The children of the Royne came together with a hero to sing a song that brought it into the first long night. And it was talking about that the Royne was frozen over completely, like all the way down past Croyane and all that, and the waters were completely frozen over, and that the old man of the river and the Crab King and all the children came together to sing a song that ended the first long night. And then we have the stories of, we have like Zora High and all those stories that come down to us. So these are different legends. There's been more than one long night. But you know what? I don't know if I'm trying to think now. Was it
a long night? That's what everybody's waiting on, right?
Well, that's what we're waiting for now. And you know, here's something I want to bring up.
Be covered in the show, The Long Night, because this is all leading up to that, correct?
Right, and I want to bring something up. Just that
right, she said right.
For current long night, because we've been talking about blood betrayals, Tammy, and all that. Now, would
you think Tyrion is going to be? You know,
I don't know now because I'm Team Tyrion, so I might have to change my views just on personal.
Well, I mean, who else is there to do a blood betrayal?
Hang on, I'm thinking we might have already had one.
Oh.
And, well, Sansa, first of all. I'm going to say Sansa. But that's another story right there.
Yeah.
And I've said that for a long time. I've been saying for a long time about Sansa.
Well, if she did a blood betrayal, that would be if she, wait a minute, she is, well, she kind of is. I mean, she's married to Tyrion.
If Sansa flips, then that would be a blood betrayal. Brandon hug her, whatever he first seen her. And yeah, Cersei can make her an heir because she's Lannister's technically married to Tyrion. And yeah, no, that could be. She can be very beneficial. Teamed up in the right scenario and betraying her beloved family. So, I'm just saying. Anyways.
Well, she's got in her.
But that's not who I was saying. No, I think there might have already been one, and I think the blood betrayal might have been the Karstarks at Battle of the Bastards, because they are, or at one time they were part of the Stark, so they are related by blood.
So you know, you said not Tyrion, and you think Sansa. What else did you say? Or is that all you said, Sansa? That makes sense, though.
You wait for some black. I know. I was reading that, and I didn't. I don't even know now.
Kevin dropping quotes.
Yeah. Yeah, you see the costumes that they do for the White Walkers. I know. Wait for some bright blue eyes behind me now. No, mine are really dark. Like they look black. They're so dark brown.
Ray, did you move or did the sun go down? Because it's dark.
It's dark already.
Fast.
Y'all, we always do marathon streams. We from sun up to sundown. We're just proving it.
When I look off to the side, I can see a little bit of sunset.
And y'all be hanging with us like troopers, soldiering on. It's so cool.
Yeah. Yeah, this has been a fun one. I'm trying to think. Is there anything else?
They're all fun.
Anybody else have any questions? Let's see. If
Branwyck has been a fun.
betray her for money, it would be on 3 Love Blood money. Now, here's the question. Do you think John is young Griff? Now, do you think John is young Griff, or which one? Or you just saying?
I'm not sure who young Griff is either. That'll have to be another stream too.
Oh, yeah, you have to learn that one.
Yeah,
I'm gonna build you up to where you'll know all sorts of stuff.
And, I just found out yesterday who Patchface was. You know, and for my profile pic on Facebook, I call my profile face bitch face. So I'm like, well, there's patch face and there's bitch face. But patch face was what's her name's fool. I always forget that girl's name.
Great, yeah. Yeah, John Con, I've actually explained to her before a long time ago. I remember doing it, but I bet she has no idea who it is now.
Who?
Yeah.
Me?
Yeah.
Who?
You.
I have no idea who is.
John Con.
Yes, I do.
Do you remember who John Con is?
Yes, yeah, but a little bit, but yes. And don't ask me. I just hang my wife for me. Just hang my wife for it, goddammit.
Just go to your carpet now. Oh, excuse me.
Bless you.
I love you guys. I love you guys. Screw yes, we're going home.
The night's gonna just wipe everybody out. And yeah, I kind of think that the night fort where we were talking about that was originally like run by what we would consider the Night King, I guess. We do it show.
That was a really interesting part of the book.
Well, if you think too, it's the Night's Watch. Wouldn't they be defending their own wall to keep everybody else out?
I don't know. Didn't he go rogue?
Yeah, he went rogue, but maybe he didn't go rogue. Maybe he was just the last one. Maybe it's because it changes,
I don't know, but
maybe they just someone didn't like him. Maybe someone wanted to defeat him. I mean, maybe it was something against his house. Maybe, I mean, there's all these other different reasons,
I don't know. If anybody in the book is running the White Walkers, it's that dude. Because, like, this icy woman on top of the wall that he made love with.
I thought the Night King ran the Night Walkers.
The White Walkers, you mean? Yeah, he does.
Yeah. The White Walkers. Isn't that what he just said?
Now, okay, here's the question for both of you. Do you think Bran is the Night King or gonna be the Night King or
No,
I don't.
Ooh, let me go first, Branwyck. Because I actually know something on this. I don't think Bran is the Night King, but I think that they have to work hand in hand. And I think that the Night King and Bran are both working towards Jon because I think the Night King's a Stark for one. I don't think it's Bran though, no. But I do think that they're both gonna come together inadvertently or otherwise to help Jon. Maybe I'm wrong.
Help Jon?
I think the Night King is all terrible and evil. I just don't. I'm Team Night King.
I love the Night King too.
He's like a slave. I think he was turned into a Night King or a corpse-like figure, and he's like trapped in that corpse-like body, and he wants out. And he needs Bran's help to do so. And he's going to turn back into human form before it's all over with. That's my crazy-ass theory. Okay, your turn, Branwyck. Bye, Carrie. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Carrie.
I'm a little bit I'm still a little bit, on shaky ground about the Night King and everything and who it is, because I'm not entirely with Bran and all his powers. I'm not entirely sure that
I certainly don't think he's Bran.
Hands in the Stark line might be one person reincarnated, maybe a little bit. But that sounds crazy.
No, it doesn't.
I don't know because
and one person would have been a Stark. I think he's a Stark, so maybe he is a Stark reincarnated. Yeah.
Yeah. So in the book, the Night's King, Old says he was a Stark and his name was Brandon Stark, and mayhaps he slept in this very bed.
Now, here's the thing, too. When you get to a Davos chapter in a Dance with Dragons, you'll go to a place called Wolfstead, which has a lot of really old history. Now, there was once a John Stark that had a bastard brother named Brandon Snow that was the king in the north that got called down to the Wolfstead at one point. And he called down to help him fight and chase away a bunch of smugglers and pirates and such. And the way it sounds and it's worded, that would be my best guess for who it is. I had to name someone, I would name Brandon Snow.
Okay, so in a nutshell, you think the Night King is who?
Brandon Snow, named in the Davos chapter in A Dance with Dragons at the Wolfstead.
Oh. Well, if I knew anything about this Brandon Snow, I might agree with you.
And I want to call attention real quick to Bubba Husky over in the chat. And I just want to say that I freaking love you, man.
I know.
he's talking about Danny is gonna flood her basement.
Gonna flood her basement when she sees Patchface. I was like, what?
Yeah, when she sees young Griff. And then he said,
oh yeah, young Griff. That's what I meant. Young Griff. Yeah.
When she sees
why was Danny in love with young Griff or something?
No, well, okay. When she sees young Griff's silver hair and purple eyes, her small clothes are going to be silver, or going to be like, all right, her small clothes are going to be like the Rays of Casimir 2.0. And you know what? You say that, Bubba, but I think she's going to see through his bullshit. She ain't going to trust him. And because you know what? Just because it's a pretty boy doesn't mean it's a nice package.
That's all she's got a thing for purple eyes.
Yeah, but okay, she's got Dario. What the hell she need a little boy for? Okay, and she's already been warned about the fake dragons, so she's gonna be on guard. You know, she's gonna be like, he's too good to be true, sort of thing. You know, if it's usually too good to be true, it's probably because it is. Griff, the one true king. Targaryens can't resist other Targaryens. That's true. But here's the thing. Fire can't kill a dragon or whatever. So what if the dragons get near young Griff and decide just to eat him or something? Because, okay, what if we're actually onto something about the dragons smelling out the dragon blood? I mean, right? And they call him a bullshit. I mean, I'm kind of worried about how he would react to not being it. Because I don't think young Griff is Rhaegar's son. I mean, I think Rhaegar's son's around, but that's not who it is. That would be a cool name for a motel. The pool's still right behind me, by the way. The light ain't on, though. I have to go in there and turn it on. See, I can see everything just fine, so I'm cool. It's like a nice backdrop now. Y'all wonder what I'm doing when I'm streaming at everybody else's streams? I just sit right here all the time.
Yep, that's for sure.
I'm not turning the pool light on, actually. I went to do it the other day, and the bulb on. So I got to mess with it.
You said
the water's cold. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
So I totally forgot what Branwyck's, what's it called? The hammer, what?
The hammer of the water.
Hey, Angie.
Huh?
I think it is, or I just heard what was the thing? The hammer of the waters?
Yeah.
Yeah. What about it? Oh, you hear the dogs? That means Mom's.
No, I'm just barking for the hell of it.
We went to the movies, so yeah. Mommy took me today. We took pictures. I'm calling her Mommy. Mommy, my Mommy.
Yeah.
It was kind of
It's
cool.
mommy when she buys you things, huh?
She didn't buy me nothing. It was like a special moment there because she took me to the weed doctor to get my car today. So, and then took pictures of me in front by the side. So it was
Let
like,
me back up
yay!
for the chat. Did you hear her, y'all? She went to the weed doctor.
Weed doctor.
I must move to Florida. I must move to Florida like this weekend. I need a weed doctor. I need me a weed card.
Legalize marijuana everywhere, everybody.
Nah, I quit smoking. I smoked in my 20s. I gave it up. When I went back, when I smoked one, I was like, man, nah, I'm not missing
Okay.
it. It just gave me the munchies. I ate everything inside.
Oh no, there's stuff to help you with that now, honey.
I imagine, yeah, I imagine if you get weed from a weed doctor, it's not your homegrown or
Yeah, no, science is wonderful.
Doctors like government weed, so yeah.
It ain't just your old-fashioned dime bag anymore. Now, Bubba Husky says, if Lord Varys is such a good thief, master of disguise, and can traverse the Red Keep, there's your light, by the way, a little bit, sort of, with impunity, then why it's such a stretch for him to have snuck in and swapped a baby? It's not, and I do think he swapped a baby. I just don't think that's the baby he swapped. I think it's Sam. But that's my opinion. There's your light.
Hi, Sanchez.
There's the mom. That's the OG Cersei. And he also says, I also think that Danny was a Tower of Joy baby, not John. It actually gets very cold in Florida, Kev. Like, we was like in the 20s here the other day. Now it's 76 today.
Yep. Today, amazingly warm.
Oh, Bubba said, if Lord Varys is such a good thief, master of disguise, and can
I already read that, Kimmy.
reverse. Oh, you did just read that? Oh,
yeah.
Sorry. You got me. You got me. He makes a good point, but he's always making a good point.
Yeah, Sanchez told him too. It's definitely possible he did pay for Gendry's upkeep. I think that too. I think John Aaron had a lot to do with Gendry too. I think John Aaron probably kept up with a lot of Robert's bastards. But I think Ned probably sent Gendry to the wall. But I think he sent Gendry to the wall for other reasons. At least on the show, I think he sent him for other reasons. I think he sent him to the show because he realized he was Cersei's son, not Robert's. Yeah, Gendry could have been a crib swap too. Because you have to remember, Rhaegar's son was actually half Dornish. So he doesn't have to have silver hair.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be wonderful if Gendry was actually Rhaegar's son?
That'd be wild.
That would be.
To just talk about theory on Sam. Yeah, Sam, okay, Sam, I think I really do. I think in the books, especially, that Sam could be Aegon. And I actually first heard that, and I always say this, I first heard it on Gemma's channel. She was doing like just where anybody can send in their theories. It was a guy named Bonds that said it. And I was reading John chapters at the moment. And I sat there and I started paying attention. And it actually fits really good. And if you think about it, it makes sense. Okay, Randall Tarly was like the best commander, the only one that actually beat Robert, right? Where better would you put your kid that would be safest? That's the future heir, the heir to the throne, right? Who better? Who's safer? Look at how rich Randall is, how well off he is. You don't have to worry about the well-being of that child. You know, it's in a safe place. And at the time, they didn't have no children, right? And then look at how Randall treats him. And then if you start looking at just the wordings in the chapters, there's a lot of dragon references to Sam. There's just a lot of, there's kind of a few that just, there's a lot of Rhaegar comparisons, actually, and similarities. And even if you Dornish, it's really weird. And just his hate, Randall's hate for him. And if you think about how the Reach feels about the Dornish too, that would make a lot of sense. And then how he sends him to the wall, of course he would send him to the wall. I mean, it makes, and the whole thing just makes a lot of sense. And even the use of how it is with John, it would fit too for them to be more than brothers of the Night's Watch. But really, go through and do a read, and even if you just do John and Sam chapters, like just binge them, and just look at the dragon references, the brother references, and just how he's treated and talked to you and everything. Also, the Faceless Men. Why the Faceless Men were where they were at, it seems kind of like that they were following Sam. And if you think about it, if his name was promised, if he's supposed to be dead in King's Landing how many years ago, his name was promised to the God of Death, right? Because that's what Arya and Jonathan's always saying is, oh, your name's been promised to the God of Death or whatever. So now another name's been promised. You know, we hear the waifs say that a lot. So if Aegon's name's already been promised, then of course the Faceless Men would be chasing him down, hunting him down, because eventually he's going to have to die. That's another thing. There's so many Piggy references. Sir Piggy. Sam's all about Sir Piggy. Every pig reference. Yeah,
a lot of names that I've never. Sir Piggy.
No, that's a nickname he's given by Sir Alistair. Everyone nicknames at the wall because he's just a jackass like that. And Sam ends up Sir Piggy, but all the pig references in the books end up being some sort of sacrifice. So don't be sad if Sam ends up.
I know Sam is important. I think Sam's going to make it to the end. I think him, Gilly, and baby Sam are going to have longevity.
I don't know about that. Peter Griffin says Randall treated Sam like Catelyn treated John, and that's exactly it. You just nailed it on the head right there.
What? I nailed something on the head? What?
Peter Griffin said Randall treated Sam like Catelyn treated John.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I already said I agree. Yep. Yeah.
And if you see...
I didn't lose any love when Randall and the other son were flamed were torched. I was like, yay. No. I don't like Randall Tarley.
Yeah,
and I love Sam. I just love Sam. He's like one of my favorites. Sam, Bronn, Tyrion. I used to hate Sansa, but she came into her own in season 7. I flipped. I used to like Arya, couldn't stand Sansa. Now I like Sansa, and I'm sorry, y'all. I can't stand Arya. I'm sorry. She gets on my nerves now. Arya assassin. Her and Bran both are robotic like these days.
All right. Westerosi Ninja Milt says, we always still call you Milt. I'm trying to do the Westerosi Ninja. I'm trying, man. I'm trying. Could Randall have treated Sam because he was Craven and not Randall's idea of acceptable heir? Yeah, I can see that. Sounds like a machoism thing to do. And yeah.
Oh,
he was kind of like that macho. He reminds me of kind of like one of them older military guys that are really gung-ho about it, you know. And yeah, I could kind of see him being like a macho dick. He was a macho dick. It wasn't kind of like Sam. He really was. A
machismo thing to do. That's my new word for the day. Machismo.
It just seems like there was a little more to it than that, you know. Especially with just how it was, you know, especially around it. It just, it's all the wording in it. You know how you like to play with the words in the book too. I know, I was thinking it too. Do it, Kev.
The way he plays with the words is the funnest part about reading it.
That's what got me hooked on these books. It really was. It's like, oh,
there's another phrase. Kev said Nisa. There's another one. I'm not real sure who that is. I guess that'll have to be another stream as well.
Yeah, we'll have to explain all that.
Nisa.
Yeah, he does. He does remind me of him too. Really. Okay, anything else you guys you can think of before we wrap this one up for the night?
I can't think of anything now, but I know whenever we go off, like, I'll think of a million things.
Okay. Yeah.
Not me. Like I wasn't Peter or Bubba said I'm downloading everything in one an episode. So no, I don't have any more questions.
Okay, yeah. I know I'll probably think of more stuff later too.
For other streams, you know.
Right. And yeah, definitely think more about like because we are gonna do Dorn. I swear we are. We tried to do it the other day and I had bad technical difficulties and I just got aggravated with it. So Dorn will probably be next, maybe. I'm not gonna promise it, but we got some other stuff growing too. So thank you everybody for coming. Thank you everybody.
Yes, let me say the goodbyes and the thanks. Want to say me? Can I?
Hang on. Kev said, what if an alligator sneaks up behind me in the dark? Number one, I know how to dodge an alligator because I'm a Florida native. And two, and we also have a gun in there that I'll grab.
No shit, you kill it and have alligator and eat alligator for a week.
I got a fence, and on the other side of that little fence is I'm like where the pool is one of those screened in, so it's a screened in pool, so I ain't worried about shit. Thank you for worrying about me though. Appreciate it.
Okay, let me Phoebe. Okay. Laura, let me get to the top here. Thank you, Bubba Husky. Thank you, Milts, always for coming in. Thank you, Reese. Thank you, Hal Sanchez. Thank you, LMR. Thank you, Kev, Bridge 4. And yeah, if you're not already subscribed, subscribe to Kev's channel. I usually come in and put links in. I forgot to do that, darn it. Thank you. I believe Jen came in earlier and Red Witch came in earlier. Thank you. Thank you, Peter Griffin. Always hanging with our marathon streams and all the way through from start to finish. Thank you, Dog. Thank you, Connie and Marie. Thank you, Carrie's an A. Thank you, Carrie. Thank you, Branwyck, for being on. I'll just pass up your name. Please tell me anybody I've missed, Bree.
Did you get Bubba and the Westerosi Ninja?
I think I said Bubba Husky first and Milt.
Oh, maybe.
Oh, yes, I got them. I'm trying to think of the ones that came in and left earlier. I know Red Witch came in and left. She came in for a while. I just hope I got everybody. But I'm going to let Reese take it away for the very end. But yes, thank you for coming as always, y'all. Y'all are awesome for coming and staying and hanging. And you always have such awesome insight.
And thank you, Ree and Cammy, for having me.
Thank you for being on, Branwyck. You're so cool.
Oh, yeah. You're definitely going to have to come back, Brad. Yeah, me and Brad are also going to do some Harry Potter videos coming up. And because we both like Harry Potter, so, and we're both Slytherin. So, it's all like Donkey Kong. That's all I'm going to say. So we're gonna have some fun soon, and there's gonna be. I'm not gonna tell y'all because I don't know whose channel we're gonna do it on, but I'm just gonna say look for some Legion sometime this week, probably. There's just gonna be some Legion stuff. Might have to do with say like a special Viserys, Harry Lordy, and stuff. I don't know if you can even see me winking. It's like my glasses are reflective. But yeah, no, like come check out Legion stream when we do it. And we'll be back on here really soon. Next couple of days, you'll see us back on here. So come check us out, guys. And thank you, Brand. Thank you, Kimmy. And we love you guys as always. So have a good night, everybody.
Thank you for being the hostess that knows the mostest.
Oh, thank you. Y'all have a good night, guys.
Bye, Bubba.
Have a wonderful night.
Bye, Uncle Bubba.